Hello again. This time I'm going to be talking about freedom in video games and the freedom to do whatever you want, really. Spoiler alert, I think it's good if you can do literally anything. Obviously not for all games, some games need restrictions, but for a lot of games, I think it's really good if the player has as many options as possible. I'll give a couple of examples. I really use the same games for examples every time, don't I, huh? Well, anyways, first example is Boneworks. In Boneworks, I don't think there are any invisible walls. I don't remember there being any. In most levels, including the main menu, it's diegetic. You can literally just break a window somewhere and fuck off. You can just leave. In the tutorial, if you climb up the girders and use the crowbar that you can find to break a window, you can get out onto the roof of the little main menu building, and there's just some floating buildings out there. There's no floor, it's just void, and the roof isn't textured, so you can see straight through it. There's nothing stopping you from doing this. It's like easiest thing to do. You can do this in most levels. There's just a massive out of bounds area. And yes, it works with the story, and that's why it's like that, but I think it's really cool. It's really neat. And it makes the replays of the game a lot more interesting because you can be like, oh, hey, what if I just go over here? Another similar game, Noida, well, not similar as in genre or anything. It's probably as different from a VR game as you can get. It's a 2D game, but similar in player freedom. There are no invisible walls in Noida. You can continue going in one direction, provided you have a good enough digging spell, until your game crashes due to integer overflow. And it makes the game a lot more fun, because you can just literally do whatever. Now, obviously, just being able to go far or out of bounds isn't the hallmark of player freedom. Both Noida and Boneworks also give you a bunch of freedom in other ways. That's just the easiest example. And to talk about a different kind of player freedom, I'll go to TF2 as another example. Loadouts in TF2. There are a lot of weapons in TF2 and a lot of different combinations. And there's no restriction. You can play. This is gonna make no sense if you don't play TF2, but I'm not going to explain every weapon. So you can play Demo Man with the booties, the sticky jumper, and a sword, and it is insanely not viable, kind of terrible, but it's fun. Sometimes it's hilarious, and no one's stopping you. The game doesn't tell you, oh no, hey, this isn't a good combination. No, you just do it. There's subclasses for like basically every class. You can just play in very unconventional ways. The reason I'm bringing this up is because most shooters do not let you do this. Let's just use Valve's other game, CSGO. It's a lot more competitive, yeah, but they're still casual playing CSGO. It's kind of hard to compare because TF2 is a lot more wacky, but I've played a little bit of CSGO, and most guns of the same class are pretty similar, apart from just damage numbers. And you don't really have much choice in loadouts. You're either close range, medium to close, or long range. From what I've seen, I haven't played much. Feel free to correct me if you're a huge CSGO player. Anyways, I've rambled long enough. The TLDW. Player freedom good. You don't always need it, because CSGO is still fine, fun game. It doesn't need the amount of player freedom the TF2 has. But generally, player freedom good.